Second Timothy chapter 3. I want to talk to you today about being out of control. Chapter 3, verse 3. Well, just take verse 1, 3 and 1. You got it? I can't preach long today. I can't preach long today. I want to do part 1, part 2. I want to preach the rest of this tonight. I want to preach part of it this morning. This is not Super Bowl Sunday, is it? Next Sunday? So if we're going to preach a good message, you need to do it today, because next Sunday, some of y'all will be mourning, and some of y'all will be rejoicing. Don't gamble on the game, saints. Don't take any bets on the game. If you do, you're out of control. Don't cuss anybody out this week. And I know you cuss sometime on this side. I'm not going to call any names. I'm not going to call any names. I could, but I'm not going to call any names. Do no homongering. Nobody in this section. That's a sign your life is out of control. You don't have time to hate. None of y'all over here. This is where the haters come from. You see, there's nobody in here that is immune from being pulled out of control. We live in a day and time where people can look so sedity, cool, calm, and collected. But the reality is, if you pulled off the mask and stripped off the facade, we live in a culture that is filled with people whose lives are out of control. Yeah, you see the nut cases, you see those that snap, you see those that make the headlines. Can y'all hear me? See those that do the suicide bombings and shootings, the mass murderers. See those that abuse their own babies as well as themselves, the kleptomaniacs, the pyromaniacs, and just the maniacs. But there's really many more closet maniacs. And you might be sitting by somebody today, up here, over there, back there, up here, over here. You might be sitting next to somebody right now whose life is really out of control. Have you ever been there? Anybody? Really, let's be honest for a minute. Close your eyes so we don't peek. Anybody here, raise your hand if you've ever been out of control. Oh, they've got all kind of other names to try to make it sound more sophisticated and clinical and cool and sexy. But there's nothing good about a life that even you cannot control. Lord, help me, Jesus. Well, that's the times we live in, isn't it? This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. Did I read it right? What kind of times? When's it going to happen? Maybe hasn't always been that way, but if there's any doubt, this is a good day to erase it. We are living in the last days. And in the last days, the whole environment will reek with peril. Peril. Not pearl, peril. Danger. Risk. Tragedy. Eeriness. Harm. Infiltration, infection, and defection, and molestation. We are living in a day and time that is filled with peril. Next page. And here are the signs of those days. Men shall be lovers of their own selves. Are we there yet? Covetous. Are we there yet? Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. My Lord. That's the lowest level of sin. Just so out of control, you take pride in the evil side. Disobedient to parents. All right, don't let the baby work me too hard. Disobedient to parents. Disobedient to parents. Now, by the time you get to be 57, by the time you got to have good lungs, you're going to preach in a sanctified church. Everybody want to help him preach. By the time you get to be 57, you really are not required to do everything your parents tell you. I know I lost a grandmama right there, but I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. He's not really talking about people that are of age. There comes a time when you don't have to do everything your mama tells you to do. There comes a time when you need to pay your own rent, pay your own car note, your own life, health, and car insurance. Comes a time when you need to cook your own food, no matter how bad it tastes. Mama says, come over, you got to tell her, if I can bring my wife and all my children, but I can't come by myself because I've got to learn to eat my wife's cooking. But when you are a child living under the roof and home of your parents, you really shouldn't be calling them by their first name. Trouble in my way. Gene, hey Gene. Now you know what I told you to bring me home from that grocery store. Have you ever been to Walmart and watched how the children are sometime going up and down the aisles? You think it's the child's problem. Think the child is out of order. Because the child is just screaming and hollering, knocking the displays over. But here's what's good when they start slapping. Shut up, mama, shut up. You know they don't live on 12th Street. See, when you don't learn how to respect your parents when you're a child, don't expect a grand transformation when they get grown. Can y'all hear me? Well, now we live in a time where the disrespect that many times our children have is the result of the lack of self-respect that their parents had. Well, disobedient to parents means parents that don't have a standard of respect at home. Unthankful, that's the time. Unholy. Yes, without natural affection. Men for men, women for women, boys for boys, girls for girls. Just want to be sure you understand that. And sometimes that's the kind of affection that you have. But that's not natural. Really, uncle shouldn't be trying to date his niece. Lord, please help Bishop today, Lord. Don't let him go too deep. And the nephew shouldn't be trying to get the squeeze on his auntie. Am I going too far? Let me know if I'm being too truthful here. You do know we're living in that day where some people go to the family reunion to get dates. That's not natural affection. Then abandon your own children. Choke them to death. Drown them. Teach them how to smoke dope. Let them learn how to handle their beer when they're 5 years old. You do know that's in Kansas City, don't you? Think it's cute for them to cuss and swear and do all kind of obscene and lewd acts. That's not natural. Somebody say that's not natural. Truce breakers, just lie, just don't be no word they say. Know when they make the truce that they're not going to keep it. False accusers, and what's next? Incontinent. Incontinent.